A while back, I was looking at a boxing gym online and I started skimming through their website to see what other info they had on the website other than monthly and yearly rates, because I was actually interested in seeing and testing out the gym. Basically, what I really wanted to know was their daily rates, right? Because gyms usually have like monthly rates, yearly rates, and then they have daily rates. And when it comes to boxing gyms, they also have daily rates alone, which means you're training by yourself, and daily rates with a coach. And that's the info that I wanted to know, because like I said, I wanted to try out the gym, so I didn't want to, commit for a month or a year. Instead, I wanted to just test it out for a day to see how the gym is, the environment, the coaches, and stuff like that. But like I said, this website had very little info, and it didn't even have daily rates. Like, it wasn't really specific on the rates with a coach and without. And so because of that, I wanted to contact them to learn more about their gym. But what I noticed is that they had no phone number on their website, which is kind of weird and shocking, because if you're a business, especially if you're like a brick and mortar business and you do not have a phone number on your website, you're losing a bunch of customers basically by doing that. But like I said, this gym was new, so I was like, all right, I get it. They probably are just setting up their website now. The thing that they did have on their website was their email. And so I decided to contact them through email and just basically asking them some couple of questions, mainly what were their rates with and without a coach. I literally did not hear back for a whole week, and they finally responded 8 days later. And this was shocking to me, honestly, because like, if you're not answering a phone call or an email like as soon as possible, like as soon as someone contacts you as a business, you are losing leads and potential customers that way. And the crazy part is that this wasn't the first time that happened to me, because it also happened to me with a different gym, only that in this gym they didn't answer their phone. And so I wanted to know, like I said, more info on their gym. This one was specifically like a more like a private club, and so they have like specific details that they don't really speak about online. And so I wanted to know more details, and so I did the same thing with this gym. I contacted them through email, and the same thing, they responded like 5 days later. I'm not gonna lie, I was shocked when all of this happened to me, especially knowing that businesses are still either not answering phone calls or not answering email inquiries as soon as possible, especially with technology like AI. At this point, there's no excuse as to why you as a business can't answer either a phone or an email as soon as possible when someone contacts you, because there's technology and systems that you could put in place to handle this for you, so that you don't even have to handle it yourself as a business owner. People like myself, days later, would have contacted a different gym, and if that gym would have answered me a lot more quicker or at that moment, and they would have like immediately answered all of my questions, I probably would have went to that gym that same day or the next day and tried it out, and they probably would have gained themselves a customer. And the business who didn't answer to me on time or didn't answer to me at all, they would have lost a potential customer, and that's money going down the drain. And that's all because they couldn't respond to their emails on time. The brutal reality is that almost everyone is leaving money on the table and they don't even realize it. And this doesn't just happen to gyms, it happens to anyone who offers their email as a way to contact them. So this can happen to barbershops, gym owners, personal trainers, nail salons, real estate agents, online coaches, etc. The list goes on and on. If you're a business and you offer your email as a way to contact you, and you do not actually answer those emails, you are losing potential leads who are interested in what you're offering. Imagine someone sends an inquiry about your business through email and you respond like a week later. Like, that's literally a lost customer, because by that time the customer already went to other businesses and probably one of them responded to them on time and already got them as a customer. And even if you are a business owner who answers to these emails that come into your inbox on time, imagine how time consuming and stressful it is to be answering the same emails over and over again, and you're probably like, damn, I already answered this like a bunch of times. You can't scale a business when you're stuck in the quicksand of administrative tasks. It will literally kill your discipline and your growth. With AI, these issues literally should not even exist anymore, if I'm being honest. Your emails should not be flooded with a bunch of unread messages of potential leads or customers that are interested in what you're offering, because now AI can handle responding to all of them. And those situations that I went through with those gyms actually inspired me to make this video, where I'm going to show you how to use AI systems in make.com that can automatically answer your emails on time, capturing the attention of the lead that is interested in your business or has questions about your business and what you're offering. Because there's been research and studies that show that if you respond to an engaged lead on time in less than 5 minutes after they reach out to you, your conversion rates literally increase up to 400%, which means more leads turn into customers and clients of yours, which means more money to your business. So in this video, I'm going to show you 2 ways that this system can work for you. One way I'm going to show you is where AI drafts a reply to the emails that come in and actually sends it to them. And another one is where AI drafts a reply and then keeps it as a draft in your inbox so that you can review it afterwards, because there are some times where clients want to review the reply that AI created and then send it off. And there are times where they don't even care. They're just like, I want AI to craft a reply and to send it immediately. So I'm going to show you those 2 two ways. Okay, so now we are in make.com where we're going to be building out this system, and it's going to look pretty simple, but the amount of value that this system has, like the amount of value that this system brings is actually insane, because like a lot of you business owners receive emails all the time and you guys don't even respond to them sometimes because you don't have time for it, maybe, right? Or maybe you have a VA that handles your emails, but maybe they're not even doing that best of a job themselves either, right? Because they're all human and it may take a lot of time to like respond to all of these emails that come in, right? And so what we're going to be doing is very similar to this, even though this one is called the AI lead scoring email autoresponder. This one basically scored leads, but I'm going to show you basically in the scenario that I went through, right, with the gym, right? Imagine if the gym had the system that I'm about to show you right now. They literally would have answered my question in like 5 minutes, which would have been mind-blowing to me. Like anytime I email a business and they respond to me in like 10 minutes or less, that's like mind-blowing to me. So imagine if you're a business and you respond to people's emails or inquiries about your business in like 10 or 5 minutes or less. Like they're going to be shocked because they're going to be like, damn, no business answers to me in this amount of time, especially when it comes to email, right? And so it's going to be very similar to this, only that we're going to be adding in a Google Sheet, which is going to be full of your, like in this case, I created a fake boxing gym, right? I called it box core boxing gym, and this is basically an information sheet that I created. Is like all fake, right? But this is just an example of what a boxing gym business would have, right, in their information in their website, right? And so this is just standard boxing gym information about a boxing gym, right? As you can see, it has daily pass with gym only, it has daily pass with a coach, and it has a first time trial day, which is $15, stuff like that. So this is just basic information that any gym would have. And so what we're going to be doing in this case is we're going to be doing the same thing as this one, only that we're going to be starting with the email, but then we're going to be giving AI this document right here, and then we're going to be using AI to craft the reply back, and then we're going to be sending the email back to the customer, whoever reached out to you, right? So we're going to be starting off with email. We're going to be using send email, so we're going to be using the email module in make.com. We're going to be using the we're going to be using the watch emails, right? This one's going to trigger whenever an email comes in through your inbox, right? So I already have my inbox connected with Google. So all you have to do in this case, if you don't have connected, just add yours right here, right? Just do connection type, just do a Google restricted, and then just like connect it right there with your account, and you'll be good to go, right? Your inbox will be connected to this module right here. So we're going to be using inbox right here. This is going to be watching all the messages that come in through your inbox. And then criteria, we're going to leave it at all emails or only unread emails, right? So only unread emails we're going to be receiving, right? So only emails that we haven't read. And so obviously in your case, the emails that are going to be coming in right here are the ones that you haven't read yet. So that's crucial. Okay, so we're going to be leaving the sender email address nothing. We're going to be leaving recipient address nothing, because obviously you don't know who's going to be sending these emails to your inbox, so you don't want to restrict it. Subject is going to be nothing. The subject is going to be, everything is going to be good, right? And so we're going to leave maximum results to 1. And so this is going to be the first one, right? We're going to do, right now we're going to leave it like this. And then when we test it, we're going to change those options, right? So we have the email. We're going to be watching emails right here. We can actually set this up to like do it every, 5 minutes, right? Every 5 minutes or every 1 minute, depending on, your inbox and stuff like that, right? But we're just going to leave it at 5 minutes right here. And we're actually going to turn it off actually, because I don't want this on right now. It's just going to be for testing purposes. And so now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab this Google Doc right here, right? So this is going to be the information that we're going to feed AI about the business itself, right? Obviously for your use case, for your business, whatever it may be, whether that's a barbershop or online coaching, you have your information about your business. You're going to be filling in this document with your business details. In this example, I just created a fake boxing gym. So what we're going to be doing in this case is we're going to be using Google Docs right here, Google Docs, and we're going to be using the get content of a document. This is basically just to get the content that's in this document, which is all of this right here. And so we're going to be using that. So we're going to use the Google ID. So instead of doing, by drop down, we're not going to be using drop down. We're just going to be using by Google ID. And to grab the Google ID is very simple. Just go right here. The Google ID is right here between the D and the edit, right? So between this D right here and between the edit, that's the Google ID, right, of the Google Doc, right? So we're going to be grabbing it from, it's going to start from 1 and then it's going to end with W in this case. So we're going to copy that Google ID and then we're going to be pasting it right here. And this is going to be the Google ID. And to test it, just to see if it actually is the one, we can easily just test it right now. So we're going to run this module. And as we can see, it is the exact sheet, right? As you can see, that's the title right there. And if we grab the content right here, you see all the content that is in this Google sheet right here in the Google Doc. It is exactly the same as this one. So this confirms to me that this is the correct Google Doc that I grabbed. And so that is good to go, right? And so once we have this, right, now we're going to be using AI, right? So now we're going to be using AI and we're going to be creating a prompt to basically prompt AI to create a reply back to the emails that it receives, right? So we're going to be using generate a completion. In this case, we're going to be using the, which model should we use? We should use the one that just recently came out, the newest, the upgraded version 5.1, just for this use case. And so now we're going to be using, we're going to be doing developer system. So right here, what we're going to write is we're going to write the role of the part of the prompt, right? In case you guys haven't watched that video that I recently released on my YouTube, where I go over how to master AI prompt engineering, go and watch it. It's a really in-depth video on how to really, just master the 3 components of a prompt. And so if you haven't went and watched that, go ahead and watch it. But right here, we're going to be putting the role. You are a highly skilled and professional email writer, email assistant for Box Core Gym. That's the name of the gym, right? Box Core Gym. As you can see right here, a boxing gym. You have immense expertise in communication, boxing gym knowledge, and customer service. So we're gonna just give it this basic prompt right here. You are a highly skilled and professional email assistant for Box Core, a boxing gym. You have immense expertise in communication, boxing gym knowledge, and customer service. So that's the role right there that we gave it. Now we're going to be giving a user prompt. This is going to be the task that we're going to give it. And so I already have the prompt for this task part of the prompt ready. So I'm just going to paste it right here. And I'm just going to, go over basically what it does, right? So we're going to be doing this right here. So monitor incoming emails for Box Core Gym and respond to customer inquiries by following these steps right here. So carefully read and understand the customer's email query, reference the Box Core Gym Google document to find the relevant information, craft a professional, friendly, and informative response that directly addresses the customer's question, format your response using appropriate HTML text to ensure it looks professional in email format, include any relevant details about gym service hours or class as needed. So the reason why I put format your response using an appropriate HTML text, I'm going to explain that later on. You're going to understand why it's going to be formatted this way. I'm going to go over it after this module right here. And I'm also going to be adding in these additional notes right here, which is, keep responses concise but thorough, addressing all parts of the customer's questions. And if multiple questions are asked in one email, make sure to address each one of them, right? So now that we have the prompt ready, we have the role, which is this. You have the task, which is this. Now we're going to give it examples, which is the crucial part about prompting itself. So we're going to be using user again, and now this user is going to be the example as if someone sends us an email, right? So I already have the examples ready, so I'm just going to feed the examples to AI right now. Okay, so I have given it the example. So for instance, right here, we give it an example, like if we receive the email that says, hey, I'm interested in joining Box Core Gym, but I'd like to know what your membership options are and if you will offer any trial periods before I commit. And that this is going to be the way that AI is going to be outputting the response, right? So it's going to be, as you can see, it has HTML tags. This is basically tags that are used in HTML to basically format the email beautifully, right? To basically format it in a right way, right? Like for instance, when you receive an email, professional, like when you receive a professional written email, is not all chunked in together in one text, right? It usually has like line breaks, like, hey, whatever your name is, yeah, and then you answer the question, and then at the end you say best regards, your name or your business, right? It has line breaks. And so that's basically what we're going to be using with HTML tags, so that AI can generate the HTML tag so that we can then put that in the email response in the next module, right? So this is an example, right, of how the email would be formatted. And then after that, we just gave it one example because we don't want to give it a bunch of examples. It will get the gist with this simple example right here, right? And so the one thing that I did forget to put was the Google Doc. So I'm just going to put right here, here is the Google Doc with the gym information. And then we're going to give it the Google Doc, which is a text document right here. And then at the end, so we get the examples. And then at the end, we're going to be using user again, but this time it's going to be the actual email itself. So the email itself is going to be text content right here. Yeah, this is going to be the email right here. So just put text content and then you're good to go. You just put save. So now the next thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be actually sending the email. So in this case, I'm going to show you as if it's drafting the email, right? So this example that I'm going to show you right now is the AI generates the response and then it's gonna, you know, put it in your email, but instead of sending it directly to the customer or to the person who's emailing you, it is instead going to keep it in your drafts. That way you can review the reply and then check it out yourself and then send it yourself if you want to. Or if you have a VA that handles your inbox, you would then send it, and then the VA would be looking over the reply and then it make sure that everything is good and then send it over. I'm going to be showing you that right now. So then after that's done, we're going to be doing send an email, and then right here we're going to be sending the email. So save messages after sending, I always put yes just to save the message. And yeah, so everything's going to be good. It's going to be in the send folder. So we're going to be doing to the email, the person who emailed us, right? So to grab the email address of the person who emailed us, we're just going to simply go back to this module, the first one, and we're just going to grab the email address that sent us the email in the first place, right? So sender email address is going to be this one right here. So just grab the sender email address. Don't grab the recipient email address because that's you, right? You received the email. You're going to grab the sender email address, which is the one who sent you the email, which is the client, the customer, or the lead, whoever's sending you the email, right? And then the subject line is going to be, hey, and then I got your inquiry. So just put it like that. Just simple and basic. Obviously for your use case, you're going to be doing the email subject customized to your business use, but I just put like a simple, hey, I got your inquiry. And so here's where we come back to the HTML, right? So we're going to be putting this in HTML format instead of plain text. So HTML format. And then right here, we're going to be putting the response that AI gives us, right? So we're going to be doing choices, message, and then content right here. You're going to grab that, you're going to paste that, and then everything is going to be good to go after this. Everything is good to go. You have to do nothing else. You don't have to do the advanced setting. Just that's good to go. Now let me go back to the examples part and explain to you why we're doing HTML tags, right? So you see these HTML tags right here. The reason why we want AI to output the message in HTML with HTML tags is because when the message that AI gives, when the output that AI gives goes right here, since it includes HTML tags and since the content tab right here is HTML, when we send the email that the person receives is going to be formatted clean, right? So they're not going to see the HTML tags because we put content type HTML. Let's say for instance we put plain text, but we include the HTML tags in the content right here. It's going to show the HTML tags. So for instance, if we leave it as plain text and then we output, and let's say AI puts this for output in that part of the email module, let's say I put it like this with the HTML tags right here, those tags are going to show up in the email, and it's going to obviously give away to the person like them, they're not responding to my email, it's actually AI or something like that, and it's gonna look ugly. Basically the email is going to look ugly. So to prevent these HTML tags from appearing, just go to right here, and instead of plain text, just use HTML. And then those HTML tags are gonna reformat into like line breaks basically, right? So like if the HTML has line breaks, it's gonna actually do a line break in the email. I'm gonna show you how it's gonna look just so you can have better clarity, right? So basically this is basically the whole system, right? So we gave AI information about the gym. We have given it examples of how we want it to output, and now we're gonna be sending an email. So now we're gonna be testing this right here, right? So let me just go ahead and test it. Let me just I'm gonna do run one. So I'm gonna actually send an email to my inbox that I have right here, which is my business inbox. Okay, so as you can see right here, the email, I received it. I sent myself an email, and I'm not gonna click it to watch it because obviously I'm watching for unread emails in this module right here. We put unread. So I'm gonna run this, and we're gonna see what reply it gives, right? Oh wait, before that, let me just stop. I actually forgot the most important part. Let me just stop this right here. I forgot to put to not send the email, to instead keep it as a draft. Okay, so I actually forgot there's a separate module that has a created draft. I forgot because I'm using the regular make.com email module. I'm not using the Gmail. In the Gmail, it has its own send an email, and instead of it has its own like option to send a draft inside the send the email. I forgot that I'm using the email module in make.com, which is native. So in that case, if right now what I'm going to show you is sending the email. And then in the next part, I'm going to show you drafting the email because email has its own created draft. So I'm going to be running this right here. Oh wait, I forgot. I need to choose where to start. So let me just select the first email right here. So this one right here, we're going to grab. And so now we're going to be sending it. We're going to be saving it. And then we're going to be clicking run. And now we're going to be seeing this in action. So as you can see, grab the email. Now it's feeding it to AI. AI is generating the reply. It generated really quickly. And now it sent the email. So now we're going to be looking at our inbox and see how it looks. So as you can see right here, look at how it outputted everything, right? Look at how clean it has line breaks. You don't see any HTML tags in this, right? But if we go back to our, automation, our system, and we look at what AI generated, if we look at the result, it has HTML tags, right? You see these tags? It has HTML tags, yet you don't see it in the actual email right here. And the reason why is because in the email draft, in the email module, we put the content type as HTML. If we were to do it as plain text, let me show you how it looks if we were to do it in plain text. So we're going to be running it right here. Now, this is how it looks if we use HTML tags, but we used, in this case, we use plain text, and look at how it came out. You see, it includes the HTML tags. Now this looks ugly. Like if you receive an email like this, you're going to be thinking, who am I emailing, right? Like this is weird. Like who includes these in their emails? And so we don't want these tags. And so the reason why, if you want your emails to come out like this, you have to make sure that you put HTML tags right here, HTML, and then you have to put this right here, the content of the email. And then you have to instruct AI to output its email reply with HTML tags. When these HTML tags go into this module and it sends the email, it will appear like this because we put in the email module that you want the content type is going to be HTML. And so that's why it's important to put HTML. As you can see, it came out very clean. And I basically asked the question that I asked in the email was basically this question right here. So as you can see, the messages, we go right here. This is what I put right here. Hey, I'm wondering what the daily rate is with coach and without a coach. I don't see much info on our website, on your website about this, and would like to know. So this is the email that I sent to the, boxing gym that I created, right? Like the email inbox. And so this is the reply that I sent back, that the AI sent back. Hey there. Hey, thanks for reaching out and for interested in sharing and training with us at Boxcore Boxing Gym. Our current daily rates are day pass, gym only, $25. Day pass with coach, $35. The gym only day pass gives you full access to our facilities for the day, and the day pass with the coach includes guided work with one of our coaches during your visit. If you like, we can also set you up with our first time trial day for $15, which is a discounted option for our new visitors. Feel free to reply with a day and time you're thinking of coming in, and we can help you plan your visit. Best regards, Boxing Gym. It's a fake address, 123 Main Street, and fake number, and this is the email of the gym itself, right? Imagine you're emailing a business and you receive a reply back like a minute later or like 5 minutes later. You're gonna be mind blown. You're gonna be like, damn, this business is different because nobody answers their emails on time, and this business actually does, which means that this business is serious business. They actually care about the people who are interested in their services, in their business. And so that's an example of sending an email. I'm gonna do another example, right? I'm gonna ask now. In this case, I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna do run this module right here. No, I'm gonna do. In this case, I'm gonna ask. Let's ask, do you offer any snacks in the boxing gym, right? Because there are some boxing gyms that offer snacks. And I might also ask, do you guys provide the boxing gloves for first timers, or do I have to bring one? I'm going to ask that question right there. Okay, so I sent the email already. My inbox in the other inbound that I have received the email. So now we're going to be running this. So right now it is running the whole scenario. AI created a reply. So now we're just waiting, for the email to be sent. Okay, so the email is sent. So now let's check out our inbox. Okay, so we got it right here. So as you can see right here, so this is going to be the info. Hi there, welcome to boxing. That's awesome that you're also looking to try out. So before I actually, show you this message, I'm actually going to tell you what the message was. So let's go right here. Let's go to messages and let's go right here. So this is the email that I sent. Hey, I'm new to boxing. Would like to know if I would need to bring my own gloves if I want to try for the first time, or do you guys provide gloves yourselves? Also, do you guys have showers we can use after training? And also, do you guys offer drinks and water, or do I need to bring my own? So that's the email that I sent. Now there's the reply that I got back. Welcome to Boxing This Hospital. You're looking to try out. Here's how it works at Boxcore Boxing Gym for first timers. Gloves and hand wraps. You're welcome to bring your own gloves if you have them, but if you don't have, for your first visit, we offer boxing glove rentals for $3 a day, and hand wraps available for purchase. Wraps are required for classes and bag work. So that answered my question right there. Showers and locker rooms. Well, yes, we have locker rooms and showers available for you to use after training. We also provide free towel service, but please bring your own lock if you'd like to secure a locker. So this is great information right here, right? Waters and drinks. You don't need to bring your own water unless you prefer to. Free water refill station. Bring a bottle to refill. So they have their own water. They provide it. And they also provide drinks and snacks to purchase. So bottled water, sports drinks, and protein bars are available at the gym. It answered all of my questions in like less than 5 minutes. Like if a business owner uses this system, like the amount of customers, the amount of leads that they can convert into customers because of how fast it replies is going to be crazy. So now that I showed you how you can send emails, now I'm going to show you as if you were to draft it. So let's say you don't want to send them. Let's say you have a VA that watches your inboxes, but you just want them to review the replies that AI generates and then sends them automatically afterwards. So in this case, we're not going to be using send an email. So what we're going to be using is draft email. So we're going to go into the email one. We're going to do create a draft. And in this case, we're going to be doing the same thing, right? So in the folder, we're going to be doing draft folder right here. To recipient is going to be to the person that we're going to be sending to is going to be sender email address. And then a subject going to be, hey, I got your inquiry. And its HTML type is going to remain the same, and the content is going to be in the AI's response. So it's going to be choices, and then it's going to be content right here, and boom, it's going to be right there. So same case scenario. In this case, I'm going to send another email. I'm going to ask it things like I'm going to ask it what classes do you guys offer, and then I'm going to ask it can we spar in the gym? Or you know what I'm going to ask it? I'm going to ask it, do you guys train fighters for amateur fights, right? For competitions. I'm going to ask it that question. Okay, so now we're going to be testing it. We're going to be saving, and then we're going to be hitting run. So now we're running the scenario. So the email has been created in the drafts. So now we're going to go to our email inbox. We're going to be going to draft, and then we're going to be going to right here. So as you can see, it created a draft, and this is the draft that it created right here. Hi there, thanks for reaching out. I'd love to hear you're trying to compete. Yes, Boxcore Boxing Gym does have coaches who train fighters for competition, including amateur boxing. Our coaching staff, led by head coach Marcus King, works with members who are serious about developing towards sparring and eventually competing. And so yeah, basically this basically answered my question. Yes, they do have coaches that train. As you can see, this is just a fake coach that created Marcus King. So their head coach is Marcus King. So as you can see, it drafted this reply right here, right? It's not sent yet, right? Like I haven't received it myself. It was created, and now it is in the draft section of the business's email inbox, right? In this case, I have it right here in the draft. So now if I'm someone, like let's say I'm a VA for a business, and I look over the emails and I'm like, okay, everything is good right here, so I'm just gonna press send. So as you can see, now I got the email back, because now it was in the draft inbox from the other person's email inbox, and they sent it after reviewing the email that AI generated. So as you can see, this is how you can create a system that can either one, send emails automatically after AI drafts it, or two, have the emails in your draft inbox so that you, or if you have a dedicated VA that will overlook your email inbox, they just have to review it and then press send to send it, or maybe add in some information or get rid of some information, which if you prompted AI correctly, like I did right here, you don't really have to tweak anything, because AI is going to be generating, is going to be answering questions that's all based on this sheet right here, right? And if it doesn't have any information that is not, like if they receive questions that they can't answer because it doesn't have any information in this sheet, then it knows it and it's not going to answer it, right? It's not going to make up any information, right? Very valuable for businesses, because the amount of businesses that don't reply to their emails, just imagine how many leads you are losing, and it's just going down the drain, going into other businesses because you don't answer your emails on time. You answer it days later, and by that time the lead that was interested in your service already went to a different business, and now they got that business. They're a customer now to that business and not yours, and that's money that you lost, right? And so this simple automation here could literally save you, it can bring you more revenue to your business, more money, because you're increasing conversion rates because you're replying to customers or leads on time, and so they're not waiting days, right? Now one thing that I would add right here is a wait. So instead of sending the email automatically, I would just wait like a minute or two. So I'm just gonna put sleep, and I'm just gonna put let's just put 90 seconds, 75 seconds, right? So 75 seconds, let's just put 75, right? Or 80 seconds. 80 seconds is 1 minute and 1 minute and 10 seconds, right? So when I put the sleep right here, 80 seconds, that just means that when, let's say we were to run this every 5 minutes, that means it's checking your email inbox every 5 minutes for any incoming emails, right? and let's say it immediately receives an email right now. If you send the email like in 15 seconds, the person's gonna know that this wasn't a person who wrote it. It was AI or someone, right? And so if you want to increase your chances of this appearing as if someone actually wrote it and it wasn't AI, you don't want to give the impression that AI wrote this, just put in an additional module over here, which is sleep, and just put 80 seconds. That way, let's say you receive an email in your inbox, this is automatically gonna run, but after AI drafts the reply, it's gonna wait 80 seconds and then it's gonna send the email. If I send an email to a business right now and I receive a reply back in 10 seconds, I'm automatically gonna know that it wasn't a person who wrote it. But if I send an email and then I receive a reply back in a minute and a half later or 2 minutes, I'm gonna know that someone wrote it, right? Because it's gonna take that much time for someone to write and reply back. And so that's why you want to add in a sleep right here, additional sleep step right here, just to make sure that it looks more realistic. This is basically the system right here automatically answers all of your emails. In this case, it was used for an example of a gym, because like for obviously in my use case, I went through this whole situation where the gyms weren't answering their emails until days later. And like if they were to have had this system right here in their business, they would have probably gotten me as a customer, right, as a client for their boxing gym, right? And so instead of you sitting down, having to go through all of your emails, answering every question, instead you can have a system here using AI in Make.com that automatically watches your email inbox and then sends a reply back. And so yeah, hopefully this video is really helpful. You should, if you're a business owner and you have a business and you struggle with handling your emails, you should automatically immediately have this type of system in your business, because the amount of value is going to bring, the amount of customers is going to engage with, and the amount of customers the amount of leads that are going to convert into customers, into clients, because you reply to your emails quickly. It's going to be insane. Like I said, I like the situation that I went through. I'm pretty sure there's other people out there who are emailing businesses and they're not getting a reply back until days later, and by that time those leads already went to different businesses, and that is a lost lead, which means that's lost business opportunity, which means that's lost money right there for your business, right? Like the lead literally just went down your drain and you didn't receive any money from that lead, right? That you could have received if you actually replied back to the lead on time, but you didn't, because you didn't have a system like this in place. But now you will have a system in place like this, because now I showed you how to do it yourself. At the end of the day, you have to understand that every minute that you spend on emails can actually be spent on deep work or on actually scaling your business. And every time a lead reaches out by email and they don't receive a response back quickly, they become a lost lead and a customer to a different business. I built this system because spending an hour to a day on emails is not productive for you as an entrepreneur, and also because I don't want your business to be like the business that I encountered, where I send an email wanting to know more information that was not in their website, and instead they responded days later, and by that time I was already looking at other gyms. If you set this up today, you're not just automating emails, you're taking back control. You're removing the bottleneck and you're making sure that no lead ever slips through the crack again, because the business that responds first wins. And now that can be you with this system, which is going to be doing it every single day 24/7. But there's a huge mistake they need to avoid if you're an entrepreneur and you're thinking about implementing AI systems, or you're probably already implementing it in your business. You see, AI is such a powerful leverage tool and is one of the most powerful ones that we have at our disposal today. And with people realizing how powerful these AI systems can be for their life or for their business, there's also a danger that comes with it, because people now begin to think that they can also automate the whole thinking process, right? Why think when AI can just think for you? And there are people right now who are giving everything to AI, including thinking through problems, and they're not doing anything anymore when it comes to their own mind and thinking through things and using their own cognitive muscles. And the danger that comes with this is, in the process, over time, you can actually become a lot more dumber, because you're not using your own critical analysis, your own critical thinking muscles anymore. That's why I created this video right here, where I go over how to avoid becoming dumber in the AI era. But anyways, that's all I gotta say. I'm out.